Began our quest by speaking to two prospectors, Paul and Randy. Their families have a rich history in Utah mountain lore.
Spaniards come through. There's a lot of evidence of Spanish activity around the area.
There's a lot of different mines up here, and they're in different areas, and it's just not a matter of, it was a matter of which one they could get to where, you know, they wouldn't be seen.
I asked Paul if he has ever seen evidence of minerals from the Rhoades mines, and he gives an answer that is quite unique for a prospector in this region.
This is what's gold to me, is this green stuff up here. This is my livelihood, this feed up here. And this don't come up. This don't come up without water. I need to put water on it. I got pasture lands and stuff. You take my water away from it, we got problems.
Paul's a hard-working cattle rancher. That summer, another drought had plagued Utah. While chasing some stray cattle into the upper hills, Paul found remnants of old Spanish gold smelters.
This tells you this son of a bitch has been hot. Hot, melt something. You get down below, you find these that are, you know, that's more like this, it's bare, that it hasn't been hot. But you get these, you see this glazing here, right here, it's thick too. This son of a gun's been used over and over again. These were here long before this country was even settled. These were old when this country was settled.
The Spaniards built these smelters to process the ore. Paul is an Uncompahgre Ute Indian. Even though the state of Utah is named after the Utes, very little is spoken about their people, their culture, and their
people that's acquired the horses. You know, a lot of tribes have seen them before the Utes, but the Utes were the most brazen to go in and act.
The smelters for processing the gold bars.
Normally the Spaniards built their smelters between 1 and 3 miles from a mine, so this would be a good indication that there's mineral in this area, especially this big one. The amount of glaze and mineral that's deposited on these rocks, there's an awful rich mine around here somewhere.
Paul grew up in the Uintah mountain region. After a little cattle prodding on our part, he agrees to guide us on our search for the mines. We begin in the area near the hidden Spanish smelters.
Down there.
They don't exist. Only the mine.
Me and Steve right above the waterfall.
Not good.
This is it.
Clean out. See that Larry saw stuff, they were following that in.
Sure is caved in, ain't it?
Yeah. Looks like it went way back in there at one time.
Shit. Yep, this out. That's it.
There were a series of earthquakes in the late 1800s which caused a lot of disruption in many of these old mines. The damage...
Because what do they do with it? They find it, they stick it in a goddamn little cubby hole somewhere and nobody can see it. You and I can't go see some of the stuff they found. Why not? The government don't own it. Why shouldn't we all be able to see it? Why should we not be able to go in and look at it?
Because it makes them crazy. It does. Makes everybody crazy with greed. I think that's why the Indians like to stay away from it, like to keep it hidden.
Benefit.
As we all know through history, the last, 150 years, the white man wants the gold, they're gonna take it away some way or another. Legal or...
Now, we was out cattle one day, seen tracks heading up toward this draw, so we were sent to go get the stray cattle. Followed the tracks up this draw and stumbled on this rock. We've always called this picture rock for lack of a better name. Now, throughout my life, I've found panels that's more spectacular, but I've yet to see any that's as intriguing as this rock I'm sitting on right now. I've always been interested in preserving sites like this. And for many years, the best way of preserving was just to keep them secret. I would not bring anybody to places like this.
You find new stuff every time you come here and look?
Yes, I do find new things every time I come through here. Every time I think I've seen everything, I take a closer look or look at it from a different angle and see things I haven't seen before. And I come here, as often as I can, just to look at it. When I first seen this, I know Indiana Jones wasn't out by then. But you have that same feeling that you've made some major find that might be significant to unlocking the key of the history of this area. But then you get older, and the more you look at it, the more mystery it adds to the history of this area. There are a number of figures in this panel that have the little wavy arms with the seemingly webbed fingers. This is a figure that appears to be wearing a same sort of headdress type thing you'd find in the Middle East, maybe India or Pakistan. Some kind of turban apparatus, a top knot and everything here.
The interpretation of this panel's message lies in one's own perception of many of the same qualities. It seemed that all people possess similar needs, wants, and desires. It's how we each pursue these factors that make us unique. We go to the small town of Hannah for a farewell mountain lemonade. Caleb Rhoades used to stop in this quaint canyon country to gear up for his own journeys into the unknown. I could sense that Paul's mind was restless over something important, but I never could have guessed what that was.
There are minerals in the Uintah. There are minerals in the Uintah. These places do exist. They do exist, and they're hidden for a good reason. These places were shown to me. It's not right for me to use them for my benefit. I just don't want people to have the incentive to go looking for these if these things are filmed, but they are there. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up that they're going to be rich, because they'll never find this place. They'll never find it. There's one mine I can show you. We're going to go to it in the dark. You can know the general area you're in, but you'll never find it again.
Under the cover of night, Paul led me into an area of the Uintahs that I had never explored. We used flashlights sparingly in this dark country because Paul did not want to stir the spirits and protective forces that oversee the secret location of this mine. We came upon a hillside with an indiscreet layer of pine needles and twigs. Underneath this natural blanket of earth was a basketball-sized entrance into a well-concealed mine. Fortunately, this tunnel would be impossible for me to ever find again.
You can't spend too much time here. A lot of arsenic. How old is this one? I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell
What is there?
Silver.
How far back does this thing go?
About another 40 foot. This is what they was after. Right here. Now I'm not sure if these samples out of here have been assayed or not, but this silver. But this is what they're looking for, this right here. Black stuff right here. That's a good vein right there. See, they missed it and they's running something similar at the bottom. They missed this top one. This wasn't dug. This is caved in. This kind of yellowish stuff right here, it fluoresces in that light you got. And this is a different kind of color. I ain't seen it here before. I'd like y'all to bring an ultraviolet in here, see what fluoresces.
Is that silver?
This, yes. But whatever this yellow stuff is, your light's picking up. I haven't seen it in your kind of light. You know, it's not that rich in gold, but there's a hell of a lot of silver in here. Where's that visible gold that's behind him, ain't it?
There's some back
Right
there.
around the corner.
Let's go check it out.
You see that? Right there. Very small particles.
Move the light slightly. Let's go.
Because this arsenic will kill us. This is so much rich arsenic in here, you wouldn't believe it. This is solid arsenic.
That's the kind of veins everybody's looking for. That's the treasure hunter type vein. They're looking for veins of solid metal.
If developed, this mine could produce vast wealth. However, those who have taken an oath to protect its integrity would never allow that to happen. Even though Paul lives a simple during this age of severe drought.
And it's not the money. Only a fool would get in the cattle business expecting to get rich off it. It's a lifestyle. Something we're proud of doing. We're not gonna make no money on it.
After completion of this film, Paul passed away from the complications of bone cancer. During our difficult mountain journeys, he never once complained to me of his pain and suffering. Paul, an Uncompahgre Ute Indian, became more than just my guide. He will forever be my friend. With the growing consumption of our modern world, some things are better left undisturbed. The sanctity, solitude, and history of its native people are the true treasures in the Uintah Mountains.